Asmon slop? Hell yes.
And so, really, if you have a person who's organizing a group of people to collectively commit a crime, well, then, yeah, I think it makes sense to get them the fuck out of here. Like, we've got enough of these people on our own here that are living here already. You think we need more of them? We're going to need to import more of them from China. So, yeah, it's insane. That's obstruction and harassment. Yeah, I guess so. What's the correct way to protest? Without breaking the law. Because listen, if you think that you want to protest by breaking the law, then I will support people arresting you for breaking the law. It's that simple. That's it. No, you don't get to stand in the middle of the road.
I mean, that's fine, but arresting somebody is a lot different than revoking their visa. But
because your social issue isn't getting the attention that you think it deserves. That doesn't give you the right to block traffic. It doesn't give you the right to set up and build a Rust base on a college campus and then refuse police orders to leave. That's not the way the world works. And I don't think that's the way people should want the world to work either. Because imagine if people that you disagree with were doing that. You'd be losing your fucking mind. It's ridiculous. No, you don't get to do that. And so I totally support this. Get them the fuck out of here. We've got enough of these troublemakers on our own. We don't need to be importing more of them from China. Absolutely not.
Okay. Did this person even break any laws when they got their visa revoked? I wonder what they even did. I don't know. I'd have to look into it.
Testing, and you're breaking the law, and you're not from this country, get the fuck out of the country. That's my opinion. Revoke their visa, kick them out. We've got enough problems ourselves.
Like, it can't be that your visa gets revoked if you break any law in the United States, right? Like, I feel like any reasonable person would agree that that's probably not the best approach. Like, let's say you have a student who is on a visa here and they like get caught speeding. Do we deport? Do we revoke that student's education visa? That sounds kind of stupid. There must be like maybe for felonies and above, that makes sense. Sure, revoke the visa and kick them out.
Really,
but if you're getting like charged with misdemeanor crimes, do we really revoke those visas? That sounds insane to me.
I don't need nationals from other countries coming in to start trouble here. Get the fuck out. There it is. It's a privilege to be here as a non-citizen. It is. It is. And because we don't need more people causing trouble. We already have enough trouble on its own. We don't need more people doing it. It's the same reason I said that about the Japanese live streamers, right? Or sorry, they're not Japanese. The streamers that go to Japan to live stream. Just kick them out. They're causing trouble. They're being obnoxious. They're being annoying. They're disrupting the public. Get rid of them.
Causing trouble, being obnoxious, being annoying. That's a reason to kick somebody out. The problem with the people who are in Korea or Japan is I think they were committing crimes. They were like assaulting people who were like crazy shit. They weren't just being annoying, I don't think, but...
It's that simple. Yeah. Yeah, it's incredibly arrogant to walk into someone else's country and start protesting, be humble and grateful, or go home. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. House Republicans unveil bill to avoid shutdown, and they're daring Democrats to oppose it. Washington. House Republicans unveiled a spending bill Saturday that would keep federal agencies funded through September 30th. Oh, cool. So we don't have a budget. How long have we been without a budget? Just curious. We're just continuing resolutioning our way through everything? Is that based? Pushing ahead with a go-it-alone strategy that seems certain to spark a major confrontation with Democrats over the contours of government spending. If for a continuing resolution, you don't need a supermajority, right? You just need a majority, and they have majorities in both houses. So Democrats should be able to all vote no. Who cares? Especially if the Republicans aren't going to work with the Democrats for making the budget. Fuck them. The 99-page bill would provide a slight boost to defense programs while trimming non-defense programs below 2024 budget year levels. That approach is likely to be a non-starter for most Democrats who have long insisted that defense and non-defense spending move in the same direction. Congress must act by midnight Friday to avoid a partial government shutdown. Next week. What's the date of this article? Today. What is so complicated for them to pass a budget? Don't they have the House? Well, I don't. I think for an ordinary budget, I think you need like a supermajority. Do you need supermajority for budget government? I'm pretty sure you need a supermajority to pass your ordinary budget. But for continuing resolutions or for like budget reconciliation or some bullshit, I think you could just do it with a simple majority. I don't know all the parliamentarian rules or the whatever on that though. He also is betting that Republicans can muscle the legislation through the House largely by themselves. Oh, Speaker Mike Johnson is teeing up the bill for a vote on Tuesday, despite the lack of buy-in from Democrats, essentially daring them to vote against it and risk a shutdown. Normally, when it comes to keeping the government fully open for business, Republicans have had to work with Democrats to craft a bipartisan measure that both sides can support. That's because Republicans almost always lack the votes to pass spending bills on their own. Crucially, the strategy has the backing of President Donald Trump, who has shown an ability so far in his term to hold Republicans in line. Trump praised the bill, writing on X that Republicans have to remain united, no dissent. Fight for another day when the timing is right. What is the lead right now? Jesus, that's a spooky majority. 218 to 214. The Senate is 53-47, is what it's considered. I don't know, like for the independent voting losers or whatever. All right. Careful. Good luck. Crucially, the strategy is the backing of President Donald Trump. Okay, we did that. Great things are coming for America, and I'm asking you all to give us a few months to get us through to September so we can continue to put the country's financial house in order, he said. House Republicans leadership staff outlined the contours of the measure, saying it would allow for about $892.5 billion in defense spending and about $708 billion in non-defense spending. The defense spending is slightly above the prior year's level, but the non-defense spending, the aide said, was about $13 billion below last year. The measure also will not include funding requested by individual lawmakers for thousands of community projects around the country, often referred to as earmarks. The bill does not cover the majority of government spending, including programs such as Social Security and Medicare. Funding for those two programs are on autopilot and are not regularly reviewed by Congress. The top Democrats on the House and Senate Appropriations Committee, Connecticut Representative Rosa DeLauro and Washington Senator Patty Murray, both issued statements blasting the legislation. I strongly oppose this full-year continuing resolution, DeLauro said. Murray said the legislation would give Donald Trump and Elon Musk more power over federal spending and more power to pick winners and losers, which threatens families in blue and red states alike. Suzanne Collins, who heads the Senate Appropriations Committee, said the focus must be on preventing a shutdown because closures have negative consequences all across government. They require certain essential government employees, such as Border Patrol agents, members of our military and Coast Guard, TSA screeners, and air traffic controllers to report to work with no certainty on when they will receive their next paycheck, Collins said. We cannot allow that to occur. Trump's request for unity appears to be having an effect. Some conservatives, who almost never vote for continuing resolutions, expressed much openness to one last week. Ralph Norman, Republican from South Carolina, representative, says he has never voted for a continuing resolution, what lawmakers often call a CR. But he is on board with Johnson's effort. He says he has confidence in Trump and the Doji, led by Elon Musk, to make a difference on the nation's debt. I don't like CRs, Norman said, but what's the alternative? Have a fucking spine? No. I freeze spending for 6 months to go identify more cuts. Somebody tell me how that's not a win in Washington, added Representative Chip Roy, Republican from Texas, another lawmaker who has often frequently voted against spending bills, but supports the 6-month continuing resolution. Republicans are also hoping that resolving this year's spending will allow them to devote their full attention to extending the individual tax cuts passed during Trump's first term and raising the nation's debt limit to avoid a catastrophic federal default. Wow. Democratic leaders are warning that the decision to move ahead without consulting them increases the prospects for a shutdown. One of their biggest concerns is the flexibility the legislation would give the Trump administration on spending. The Democratic leadership in both chambers has stressed the Republicans have the majority and are responsible for funding the government, but leaders also have been wary of saying how Democrats would vote on a continuing resolution. We have to wait to see what their plan is, said Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer of New York. We've always believed the only solution is a bipartisan solution no matter what. House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries of New York said earlier this week that the Democratic caucus would meet and discuss the legislation at the appropriate moment, but he struck a more forceful tone Friday. Jeffries said Democrats are ready to negotiate a meaningful bipartisan spending agreement that puts working people first, but he said the partisan continuing resolution threatens to cut funding for key programs such as veterans benefits and nutritional assistance for low-income families. That is not acceptable, Jeffries said. Trump has been meeting with House Republicans in an effort to win their votes on the legislation. Republicans have a 218 to 240 majority in the House, so if all lawmakers vote, they can only afford one defection if Democrats unite in opposition. The math gets even harder in the Senate, where at least 7 Democrats would have to vote for the legislation to overcome a filibuster, and that's assuming all 53 Republicans vote for it. Wait, make that make sense for me. They can only afford one defection. If it's 218 to 14, 218 to 214 and one defect, wouldn't that make it 217 to 215? Oh, they can only afford one, so 2 would break it, and there'd be 2. Okay, never mind. 266. I got it. I hate AsmonGolds, but in this case, is it not kind of reasonable that foreign nationals organizing political protests is a bad thing? If Russians were organizing, no, I don't care. Is it a bad thing? Maybe, but people like AsmonGolds, people who won't be realistic about the Russian influence on X, have absolutely no business and no ground to stand on when it comes to discussing foreign influence on our country. What they really mean to say is they just don't like foreign influence that is against what they like. That's bullshit. We already watched this, but we'll watch it again. What is there an explanation for this, or is there something happening? Is it like in football, do you kick when the other guy kicks like that at the same time, or is there? Someone said if you don't, you die. The goalie is supposed to kick, but XQC is so bad the other guy kicked. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Do you have any advice on overcoming social anxiety? I want to make friends, but whenever I interact with people, it feels like I have a gun to the back of my head. Take a shot before you go out and chat with people. Good luck. All right. 9/16, Kamala Harris becomes president tomorrow. Okay. Holy shit, it glitched. It was obviously a glitch. It obviously glitched. Come on. Last one, okay? Last one. It's close. Fuck, one more. 9:48. We gotta go one more, okay? We gotta do one more. Fuck. 9:56. Come on. We're so close. I'm gonna try the enter key instead of the space bar. Hold on. Fuck, we're right there. Last one. Come on. We got this. Wait. I was adjusting. New key. Fuck, it's right here. No, that was just... It's not possible, bro. You can't get above, like, 9:55. It's not possible. This is not good. I lost it. I rushed it hard, okay? Fuck this. Literally every social interaction I have, it feels like I'm getting a prostate exam in front of a live studio audience, even when I talk to my family. If you're going to practice social interactions, bring a friend who's sociable, who's not autistic, like, and selfish or a piece of shit. Chances are it's impossible. If you have super social anxiety, you're never going to be able to accurately rate your own social interactions because you're just not going to understand whether you're coming off good or bad. You're probably going to dramatically underestimate how people perceive you. Bring a friend who's more social and can politely include you in conversations. Try that. If you don't have a friend, then you're fucked. Let's see. Check my Twitter DMs. Any interesting messages? At Blizzwald from David Music. I'm going to rape every one of your family members, with everyone spelled as one word. Solid. Okay.